Hey, so I've been getting all sorts of downloads, and I live in the United States, so I've got to deal with a lot of influx. So I'm going to go in to the mentality um, of what this government is doing. Because I think a lot of people are confused. They're hearing one thing and they don't know what to think. So the people in power right now, there's a person in power who's no longer in power. It's an illusion. This is a warning that our government has sort of been taken over by propaganda, by an ulterior motive here. They're using a scorched earth mentality on how, yes, there's waste, there's fraud, there's corruption in every system, but there's a choice to use, science, to use precision, to use planning like in a laboratory to deal with those issues. And that is what the the leaders of at least my country and other countries have vowed to do. They said we will be a representative, a public servant. And that we are all part of a village, and they have vowed to lead that village and give, represent it, that so below, as above so below, that we're all part of this together, and that they vowed to take care of us. But they're using a scorched earth policy. They're like, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to strip everything. We're going to cast everyone out. We're going to just, absorb all the money that people agreed to put in to a pot. They're like, here, I'm going to put it in for this, and I vote, and then I have representatives, and I have people that will vocalize, and they will rule on it, and we will have elections, and we will have Congress, and we will have the Senate, and we will have the House of Representatives, and we will have the legislative branch, and we will have an executive officer who is a public servant who leads the way with what the people want, what they've all decided. We all put our money into this. We all put our blood, sweat, and tears, our entire lives, our children, our grandparents, over and over, generation after generation, building this beautiful land, which they have just caught fire to. They're like, no, if we don't like this, we are going to literally burn the fields, burn the land, scorch it, and then rebuild, because then we will have to rebuild. We will have to be the heroes here. But if you burnt down the house, if you burnt down our homes, if you burnt down our society, you are not a hero, no matter how much you shout from the rooftops that now that it's all burnt, you get to save us. That is a lie. The level of maniacal and disconnect energy I've been getting, they're no longer seeing the U.S. government, the world dynamic, as a system. As one step leads to another, leads to a different reaction. They're like, no, burn it all, and then we will like come swoop in to fix things. We will remove any ability to have education or have anyone else learn how to fix it. We will take that too. So I find this interesting. They're taking the stance of being like the father, the protector, the two, like, I have to keep things balanced. But a father is gracious. A father is loving. A father wants the best. It does not want to destroy everything that the child created, that the children created with their blood, sweat, and tears. It wants to hone that, use that, help that grow into something greater. That's what a true leader is. We are now seeing that our government, our leaders, do not mirror our values. We wanted something. It's come to light with the full moon. We are realizing this is not just a fun little thing of changing up words. It is a full alarm fire. We have been duped. We have been manipulated. We have been manipulated by people that use the very essence of who we are to cast a mirror image and say that they're the same thing. They're not. One is light and one is dark. And they should not be turned, our land, our homeland, should not be turned into a barren, scorched, desolate place where we have no hope, where we have no food, where we have no health coverage, where we don't even have access to vaccines against polio, tuberculosis, measles. We will not have access to things that keep the entire world safe. We are a system, and if we don't see that, we have to stand up for ourselves. I'm getting very strong downloads about the lack of empathy that these people are seeing this as. Well, one leader is not mentally competent anymore. This person has reached a point in their lives where they have aged and their brain and synapses have deteriorated. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of just following and not knowing which way to go. It's kind of like this. They're reaching out and they're looking for a leader. They're looking for someone to help them because everything is fragmented. Everything is falling apart. And so instead of them realizing that there is something wrong, they're not realizing it. So they're getting duped. And the other person in power is has done something to their brain, has done something to their neural pathways. I don't know if they've integrated AI through nanotechnology or used so many drugs and neural messing with their brain that they have actually disconnected and are not seeing the world as an actual 3D thing that we're all living in, but an actual simulation, and seeing it more as a game of Grand Theft Auto for governments. I am very concerned, but what I'm seeing also is the audacity, the lack of empathy, the lack of any sort of semblance of going towards the scorched earth mentality of fixing our country. And this can be extrapolated to any country, any dictator-esque people. But what I'm seeing is that people are starting to wake up because it's so in their faces. It's so obvious when your own government says that they're going to invade our very best friends, like Canada, and ingest them, just take them over and make them a part of them when they're going into other people's backyards and deciding which should be the fate of their lands. We know that someone has lost their marbles, and it starts waking people up. And that's what I see as this. It had to happen. I see a web here and also shells. So this interconnectedness, it's like people are starting to see the connections. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to think for themselves. And I am seeing clearly that this had to happen as a means for people to have their enlightenment period, their awakening. It's painful. I tried to tell people, hey, confront those towers before they hit, because leave the tower before it's struck by lightning, because it's coming. And I think a lot of you have. Keep your eyes open, keep yourself aware, and keep feeling confident that this is going to all work out, but we all have to stick together. This is an interconnected universe. Everything that's done has an effect everywhere. Keep smart, keep thinking, keep curious. I'm proud of you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.